Hey everyone, in this video we're going to take a look at part 6 of the Perseus story and just continue on with the story we've been doing in the past 5 videos. So at this point, we've seen, Perseus has been sent off on his way to kill Medusa, basically. That's what he did in the last video. So he does complete his mission. But on his way back, he's going to run into another problem, which is kind of part 2 of the Perseus story. It has nothing to do with Medusa. It has to do with the sea serpent, right? The sea monster. And you're going to see that as you go. It's basically a continuation of the story and what happens to Perseus on his way back from killing Medusa. And this is going to set up a big part of the Perseus story. So let's dive right in. It starts with Posthike, Perseus and Fines Aethiopum Venet. So it starts with Posthike, meaning after these things, meaning after he, killed Medusa is the idea. Perseus Venet, he came into the Fines, into the boundaries, the borders, you could say, into the lands maybe, of the Ethiopians, right? So he shows up into this place. And just as a side note, Ethiopia in Greek mythology is always a very semi-mythical place. So when you read it, it doesn't necessarily mean what we think of as modern Ethiopia. It's definitely got a more mythical sense to it. So I'd encourage you to look it up because you do see a lot of really great references to Ethiopia and the Ethiopians and the different Greek gods going there and visiting it. Definitely worth your time. So Perseus shows up there is the idea. And then it says, Ibi, Kefios, quidam ilo tempore regnabat. So there, meaning in the boundaries of Ethiopia, a certain Cepheus, right, Kefios, was ruling, regnabat. He was the king, is the idea. Ilo tempore, rather, just means at that time. So it's saying there, at that time, a certain man, right, Cepheus, Kefios, was the king, right? So he runs into this king ruling these lands. Then you have Heek Neptunum, Maris Deum, Olim offenderat. So here, right, he had offended. Okay, so you have offenderat. It's pluperfect tense. And who had he offended? Meaning the king, Cepheus, right? Who had he offended? Neptunum, right? So he had offended, and Olim means once. So he had once offended Neptune. And Neptune is described as the Deum Maris, the god of the sea, right? So we know Poseidon or Neptune, right? Neptune is just the Latin version. But he's the god of the sea. And this king, Cepheus, had offended him, right? So it continues, it says, Neptunus autem monstrum saevissimum miserat. So Neptune, right, therefore, miserat, he had sent. It's the pluperfect, right, the third principal part of mitere, to send with erat on the end of it. So it's just pluperfect tense. He had sent a monstrum saevissimum, the most savage, or maybe that's a good way to do it, the most fierce, maybe, monster, right? And it's going to be a sea monster. So as sort of reparations or vengeance for being offended by the king, Neptune sends a sea monster, right, to go and attack basically the king's cities. Then you have Heek Kosam, e Mari veniebat et homines devorabat. Okay, so this, meaning this one, the sea monster, quotidie, daily, every day, veniebat, it was coming out of the sea, e Mari, right? It's a third I sentence, where you have Mari with the long I there. And again, notice the imperfect, the veniebat. The reason you're using imperfect here is it's trying to get at that idea of continuous or repeated, really action. So it's not just that he came once, he was coming quotidie, every single day. The sea monster was coming up over and over again. So that's why you'd use the imperfect here. And devorabat, it was devouring, or it was eating homines, people, right? So it was eating people. So it was popping out of the ocean and just eating random citizens as punishment for what King Cepheus had done. Then you have Heek Kosam, power animos omnium occupaverat. Okay, so ob means on account of, and it goes with an accusative. So on account of this reason, Heek Kosam, this cause or this reason, power, right, which means like fear or terror. So fear, occupaverat, had occupied, again, it's pluperfect tense, it had occupied the animos, the minds, omnium, of everyone, right? So in other words, all the citizens are terrified because they know this sea monster is running around eating people. Then you have Kefios igitor, oraculum dei harmonis consuluit. Atque ad deo iustus est filiam monstro tradere, rather. So the king, Cepheus, right, Kefios, therefore, what does he do? He consuluit, he consulted, right? He consulted an oraculum, an oracle, okay? And since Ethiopia, right, has that connection to Africa, he doesn't consult necessarily a Greek god, right, as you might imagine. He contacts an Egyptian god, right, which had gone into Greek culture too. It's Hamon. Right? So he consulted the oracle of the god Hamon. Now, this god, Hamon, right, sometimes written as Amon, remember, it's a Greek name. The H is what we call an aspiration. It's basically a puff of breath coming out of your mouth. But Amon is associated with the Greeks, rather, associated him with either Zeus or Jupiter, right? Jupiter would be the Latin version. So it's the North African equivalent of Jupiter or Zeus, right? That's who he goes to. So again, these gods get kind of conflated together when you start having this Greek and Egyptian mix, right? This cultural mix. The names start to kind of blend together, and they're associated with their own pantheons, basically. But he goes to an oracle, right? He consulted an oracle, and he asked the main god, right? Hamon. He's trying to find out what he can do. Then you have atque, so and. Usus s, this is the perfect tense passive voice. So the usus is referring to Kefios, right? The king. That's why it's nominative singular masculine. So it's not he ordered, it's he was ordered, right? Perfect tense. And then we have the ablative of agent. He was ordered by the god, adeo, meaning by the god Hamon, right? What was he ordered to do? Tradere, to hand over, right? This word tradere is where you get like trader, tradition, like a trader hands over information is kind of one way to think of it. But he was ordered to hand over Philion, his daughter, right? Monstro is dative here, to the monster, right? Meaning to the sea monster. So that's what the oracle tells King Kefios to do, right? Hand over his daughter. You have to basically sacrifice your daughter to the sea monster if you want it to stop. Then we have Eos autem filia nomine Andromeda, virgo formosissima era, right? So his daughter, right, Eos filia, literally the daughter of him, meaning the daughter of King Cepheus, right? His daughter, however, named Andromeda, a very famous name, right, and very famous character in Greek mythology. His daughter's name was Andromeda, right? And she's described as a virgo formosissima, right? The most beautiful maiden is kind of the idea to think of it. And erat means she was, right? So one way to translate this whole thing is to say his daughter, named Andromeda, was the most beautiful girl, right? Maiden, however you want to think of it. So he has this very beautiful daughter that he now needs to sacrifice. Kefios ubi haec audivet magnum dolorem percepit. So Cepheus, right, the king, Kefios, when he heard, audivet is perfect tense, when he heard haec, literally it means when he heard these. It's a neuter substantive, so you want to say when he heard these things, right? Or this, you could say, when he heard, what he has to do. He percepit, he kind of received, is kind of one way to think. He got, he kind of received is a good way to do it. Magnum dolorem, great sadness, meaning he became very sad is the idea. Because he realizes that to save his people, he now has a choice. To save his people from the sea monster, he needs to sacrifice his daughter, right? So there's this really horrible choice in front of him, which is why he's described as getting magnum dolorem, right? Great sadness. Then you have volebat tamen, kive suos, e tanto periculo extrahere, atque ob eam causam imperata harmonis facere constituit. Okay? So volebat, he wanted, right? It's imperfect tense. He was wanting, you could say. He wanted, however, right? So, and again, it's talking about the king here. He wanted extrahere, to take out or to extract kive suos, there's your direct object. He wanted to save, is kind of one way to do it, or to take out, extract his citizens, e tanto periculo, from such danger. It's ablative, right? The x, when you're taking something out of something, that prepositional phrase takes an ablative, which is what tanto periculo is. Tanto just means such here. So it's saying he wanted to take them out of such danger, right? So he wants to save his people. And on account of, again, right? On account of eam causam, this reason, right? You can almost say for this reason or on account of this reason, right? Constituit, he decided. It's perfect tense, right? So he decided facere, to do. It's a complementary infinitive. He decided to do or to carry out the imperata harmonis, right? Imperata literally means the commands. It's a participle, so more literally would mean the things having been commanded or ordered, but we can take it as commands, right? So he decided to do the commands of Hamon, right? The god whose oracle he consulted. So this is setting up the next part of the story, because you're going to see Perseus was not involved really in this part, but he's going to show up. And that's what the rest of the story is. What does Perseus do? Well, not the entire Perseus story. The next section, I should say, is what does Perseus do when he shows up and he sees this? Okay. So hopefully this wasn't too bad. Again, the Latin in this section is pretty straightforward. There's nothing too crazy. We're just furthering the plot. And that's why these stories are nice, right? Ritchie's Fabulae Faciles, because they are pretty straightforward. And it's meant to just give you you a chance to keep practicing your Latin. So take a look at this. Do any vocab you need, right? Feel free to do a Quizlet or something to help you with the vocab in this section. But read through this a few times, and if you're at a place where you can read through this without too much trouble, you're going to be just fine. Okay? Good luck.